Again on the program, and of course it is the economy today coming your way even from this station. We want to ensure that the very best that has to do with the economy comes your way each time you are on this program, and that's why today we have a topic that has to do with the current thing happening. In a few days we've had the problem of the breakdown of the national grid, and so we want to talk about that because all these things have impact on the economy. So we want to find out how it can, what can be done to make things better for us. That's the main thing we'll talk about today. And then we'll look at it, talking about it from the economic aspect of it. Then we also talk about the health aspect of it. That's why I have two guests that will help me dissect this matter and perfect it the way it will help us. And those two guests, one is a political economist and the other one is a mental health therapist. So they both will come and we'll talk. But the way things are right now, I'll begin with one guest and afterwards there'll be a break and the second guest will come in. And so right away, let me say welcome again, Okechukwu Onubogu here. And I will say good to have you there. Now, we'll get straight to the economy thing. That is the foreign exchange thing to discuss, to find out how much we have had the thing that have to do with the money and all that together today. And that's the stock exchange rather. And then after that, we'll also look at the oil market. Then we'll take our news bits. Then we'll return here for our discussion. Yes, in the Nigeria Stock Exchange, we have the oil shares index at the percentage of gain, this time gain. Remember that yesterday it wasn't a gain, but Wednesday, on Monday it wasn't a gain, but today it's a gain, a profit. So we have 0.33% gain on the oil shares index. We have 98,540.93. Then we also have the value that was traded in Naira. The value that was traded is 26.8 billion Naira. 26.8 billion Naira. And the volume was 286 million. That was what we had as the volume traded as of yesterday. Then coming to the market capital, we have 59,000. Not 1,000, but 59.72 trillion Naira as the market capital for what happened on the stock exchange yesterday. Now we'll still continue. We'll go to see. Today we are not going to take the other one, but then we'll take straight away those who are the top gainers. The stock top gainers this time on the stock. Then the top gainers, we have Champion. Champion has come in as the leader of the gainers that have talking about 9.97% gain, and the points were, they had 3.42. They had points 3.42, and the Tantalizer came in with 0.60, and the percentage of which is 9.09. We also have Orlando. Orlando came in with 7.93%, as well as Etana. Etana got 4.86. They are all gainers, of course, as we've said, and they've all had the gain. They are the top gainers. We had more gainers, but as always, we bring you 3, 4, or 5 at most of the gainers who are the top ones and talk about them, just as we've seen today. Now, amongst them in the stock exchange as at yesterday, there were also the ones we refer to as the top losers or top decliners, depending on what you decide to call it. For the top decliners, we have KAFTAN there. KAFTAN is among those who declined. We also have Triple G. For KAFTAN, it had 10% decline. 10% decline. And for Triple G, it was 9.95, almost 10% decline again. For CI Leasing had a 9.80% decline, while as Jais Bank declined by 9.21%. Oh well, that is it for the stock market. Then we'll get to the oil market. In the oil market, we have the normal West Texas Intermediate coming on there as the first we want to mention, having a loss this time, and that was 0.01% decline or loss, and it still went on at $70 per barrel. That is $70.57 per barrel, and Brent crude went for $74 per barrel, and it was a decline because it was 0.05. Then the Northern crude had $74 per barrel, a decline of 0.11%, while Bonny Light, our own Bonny Light, has $78 per barrel, and it was minus 2.84%. So that was the decline there. And straight away from this, we will move and we want to look at what we have in our news bits. And Divine Okechukwu, Great Divine, has something for us. Let's just hear this.
Nigerian crude sells for $81 a barrel despite worries about the world's biggest crude oil importer. Nigerian crude traded at a premium above $80 a barrel despite moderation in China's inflation rate and an opaque situation surrounding the country's economic stimulus plan, which have triggered concerns about energy demand in the world's biggest crude oil importer. Nigerian's Brass River, Bonny Light and Kwa Ibil last traded at $81 per barrel at the time of publication, much higher than the current Brent contract as oil traders consider China's weak economic data. The oil market upside is restrained by concerns that the slowing Chinese economy may reduce demand, as well as growing optimism that the U.S. Federal Reserve might start lowering its benchmark interest rate as early as September. Official statistics released,
if not more. In fact, this is either the 6th or the 8th time we're having it this year, 2024. And it's been going on like that. What I'm saying 6th or 8th is that I read what we even used in our news, we said 6 times. But then I had seen somewhere else where it was mentioned 8, so I'm not so sure, but it's between 6 and 8 times. Now, we're looking at it and seeing this. And definitely, these things, the way they have happened, they have impact on the economy, and they have impact on the lives of people who are in the economy. And so today, let me bring in the first of my 2 guests. As I mentioned, I told you I have 2 of them, but situations require that we do it this way. So I'm bringing in the first one, who's already seated here with me. So we'll talk and find out what could be done to make it better. I'm talking about a very special person as far as life is concerned. To me, what we have seen him do shows that he has a lot. I'm talking about Dr. Obayomi Olukayode. It's good to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the program again. Welcome to the program. Sir, you saw it. And of course, let me tell you that Dr. Olukayode is a political economist. So he's among the most qualified people to handle this matter, so as we're talking about it today. So I want to know, sir, what have you got to say concerning this thing? This is a political matter that is also affecting the economy. So that's why you're here. Tell us more.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
The issue of incessant collapse of the national grid has been a very worrisome matter to an average Nigerian, because it has become so recurrent that you start asking yourself, is this problem so supernatural or so unnatural that we cannot have solution? We've seen countries all over the world having solution, regular supply of power to the citizenry, and life has been normal. The regular collapse has been a source of problem, and it has really impacted negatively on the economic growth and development of this country. Because according to the Bureau of Statistics, we lose about 3.05 trillion naira every year to the incessant breakdown of the national grid. And this impacts positively and negatively on the economy. And this has always been a source of problem, because energy, power supply, is the backbone of the economy. And once when there's no regular power supply, a lot of economic activity and business activities will be affected. and a lot of other small-scale industries will have issues, and there will be increase in the cost of production, and it will affect revenue, because definitely people will start thinking of other alternative sources of powering their businesses and their industry, and that will be an added cost of production, and it will also affect their revenue, and this will also impact on the purchasing power of the people, because definitely the business person will increase the cost of production, and this will affect, and this has also contributed to the inflation we are experiencing in our country. Our present economic situation is so bad that we don't need to really have this kind of incessant breakdown, because it has also impacted negatively on the economic problem that we are grappling with.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to also let you know that Dr. Olukayode is also a political scientist, and so he is not just going to tell us about the economy. He knows what has to do with the polity and the politics involved. Sir, you have said something that has really worried me, and I'm happy about the fact that you mentioned it. Looking at what we've been seeing in the economy, it has been happening. Even before this year, it had happened some other years, but that of this year seems to be the worst of all. That shows that that the equipment they have there is becoming too dilapidated.
Yeah.
That if nothing is done effectively, you could as well get moribund very soon, that we will not know what to do. Is it not wise that it would have been okay for a new national grid being constructed while the repairs are still going on with this one? Something new will be constructed, and by the time, so that maybe in a few years they'll be able to conclude it if it's not what can be done in 1 year, so that that one will be the new one they will face. And while working with that, they will do some repairs on the old one, so that we have spare. If anything happens to this, you switch over to the other one. While working to put that in order, when you finish, you return to that one, since it's a newer one. Is it not better to have it than what we're seeing in the country today? And if it is better, why has it not been done? What do you think is the reason?
Yeah, thank you very much. The issue of the power infrastructure we have in this country, most of the installations they are aging. Yes, they are dated. We need a lot of building more. We need to build more of this infrastructure, power infrastructure, to power economy. The issue of the aging infrastructure in the power sector has been the major problem. We need new modern equipment, power equipment, a lot, and we need to diversify into other areas. Not only this particular one where we are using hydro everywhere. We need to also diversify into solar, into wind energy sources, and many other things. And we also need to upgrade the infrastructure we have in the power sector. But I don't really know what is really happening, because it's like this problem has defied every government that has come on in this country for the past 2 to 3 decades. During the Obasanjo, we had that within that 80 years, about $16 billion was budgeted for the power sector. And you ask yourself, where has this thing been invested? Where has this money been invested in? And other governments, the Jonathan government, the Buhari government, up to this government, they've been investing billions of dollars into the power sector. If we have been renewing this aging infrastructure, I'm sure we will not be at this stage. Or we build new ones to also use them in line with or interchangeably with the old aging ones. We don't have this kind of regular collapse of the grid, and this has impacted seriously on the economy. It has impacted seriously on industry. It has impacted seriously on the individual life. When you don't have life at home, life becomes uncomfortable. Yes, life becomes unbearable. Completely so. So we need to do. You see, I think it's a major problem of our economy, apart from the corruption. This power thing is the major thing that I was thinking. If somebody has opportunity to be in government, why don't you face power for 4 years and just say, let's say that is your achievement as a government, and leave other things or give less attention to other things? Just face power. Let there be power. Even when God wanted to create the earth, he said, let there be light. And there was light. And when that power comes, it is the light. Yes, why is our leaders not giving us light? We need light. Yes, we need light. Seriously, we need light.
You see, in case you do not know, Dr. Obayomi has his doctorate in political science. And so, as an authority in political science, I want to believe that what he's saying should be the best for this nation. That we are talking at a time like this, looking at how best can the situation of the ordinary Nigerian be made better. You see, if we get to have this kind of national grid double, and just as he said, there are other things apart from just this, and we have wind power supply, we have the solar power supply, even that from the coal that happened in those colonial days. We still can have such a thing somewhere, as it was in the southeast then. We can still have these things so that nobody will be suffering. Look, I must say, for the first time, for the first time in my life, really, see, this what do you call it? This breakdown affected me seriously, because before the breakdown, I don't know what was happening with the light, and so all the chargers in my house, all but one, got burnt. Even the ones we used to charge the rechargeable lanterns, all got burnt. I said all but one, and that one that was there was just the one that I used to charge my own handset. Other people at home that had their handsets, they all were burnt. So for the first time, it really affected me. Apart from the bulbs, 4 bulbs went. We had to replace 4 bulbs and all that. But you see, what affected me most is that 2 days back, there was no light at all, even in any of the equipment at home, that we went into the kind of dark ages that I know that, because I even got a message from you after this, because that message came in and I didn't even know. It happens like that, So it affected me so much. I said, oh my God. Because the problem is, if you want to go and buy fuel, where is it in the first place? How much do you have to buy that you use to put in your generator? And how long will it last for you? These were the things we considered. This is the period of payment of school fees and all that many parents have finished doing just now. Some are still going through it now. And you don't want us to have a peace around us. What the next is to have the breakdown of power grid. Yes. So we couldn't even power anything anywhere. It's not supposed to be so. This is just what I can say as me personally as an experience. But some others must have had some worse experiences than that. Yeah. So we need to listen. People in government need to listen. Honestly, people in government need to listen. If there is nothing else that this administration can achieve, let this administration give us another national grid, and let this administration diversify the source of power in Nigeria. Yeah. We are so richly blessed with the sun that the solar option is a powerful option that we can use. I must say that this station where we are in, we have been, I must say that the owner of the station did a great work. And the work he has done is that, you see, if the national grid breaks down even for 2 months, this station will still be on because of the kind of thing that was done here with solar that we're on. So that you can say in the Nigerian language, NEPA doesn't have anything on us, because there is always a provision. These are the things. Incidentally, there are politicians that have this mind that I wish, honestly, I'm not campaigning for him, but I wish that they will think about such a person, because he has a good plan for this country. Look at the way, when you want to tell us that someone will be our leader, show us what he has done. Yeah. We look at it. I can tell you that the person, Prince Adewale, that did this, got to get this place established, is prepared. I am not campaigning for him, but I'm saying that such persons coming into leadership can change the face of what we have in politics today. There are so many young people like that, and he is a young man. We need to do such things and get people like that into power. We are suffering for no reason. We are Nigerians are not supposed to suffer for anything that has to do with these things, but that's what we are going through. Yeah. Please, sir, if you are the one that is a politician, that is a political scientist, whenever you meet those in authority, please try to speak to them seriously, because we need to have this done. Please, I want to hear you say more because I just spoke the way I thought. I want to hear you tell us more.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't know the addresses of these people.
Yes,
I'm an ordinary Nigerian like you. But seriously speaking, the issue of this breakdown has a lot of impact in many sectors of the economy. Look at security. During this breakdown, was it yesterday?
Yeah, 2 days back.
I couldn't sleep because I was conscious that there's darkness everywhere, and that will also happen to many Nigerians. You won't be able to sleep with your 2 eyes closed.
Yes,
because you'll be thinking, what is happening? Because there's no light. Lighting is part of security.
It is.
You lighten up your compound, you lighten up your home, so that the intruder will not be able to come near you. So it has a lot of security implication. This thing we say we are having, the problem we are having with this insecurity, this breakdown, regular breakdown, is also contributing to it.
Yes.
And this is the theft of this infrastructure. Because once the system is down, those who knows about the workings of the system will go there and vandalize.
Exactly.
But if the system was on or is on,
yes, and
nobody will go near the infrastructure. So this incessant breakdown has also contributed towards the regular vandalization of the equipment on the field that is generating power. So when you look at this thing, I'm just, like you said, we are appealing to our government. We are also appealing to the people. That we should, these facilities are public facilities they are done for the benefit and the happiness of the ordinary Nigerians. Our leaders should focus more on power. Apart from fighting corruption, I think that's the next thing any government should make as their point of campaign.
Yes.
They want to bring power. They have always told us, frankly speaking, there's no electoral campaign that people have not mentioned this thing. Yes. They want to improve power supply, but it has never been fulfilled.
It has never been fulfilled.
So I ask yourself, why is it so? Is it a mystery? We need to demystify this problem. What you enjoy when you travel abroad is nothing more than light and maybe supply and water supply.
Yes, which is infrastructure.
Yes, infrastructure. And most of these things rely on electricity. Even the running of power, water, rely on electricity. So it's like the backbone of any economy. And it's what is really affecting us. It's contributing to inflation. It's contributing to reduction in productivity. It's contributing to reduction in revenue of businesses and what's it called other things. So we really need to address this thing. And I'm sure our government these days should look into it. We don't have money to even buy fuel. Most of the time when there's no light, I decided at my age to stay inside darkness. Because number one, maybe you are the only one putting on the generator in your ear. You don't want to disturb your neighbor. You become a burden of nuisance
to all the others because you are putting on a generator.
Yes, and you are not even sure that when you are going to put off the generator in the middle of the night, whether somebody will be lying in ambush for you. Yes. All these things affect the security, happiness, and peace of mind of the individual. So our government should look into it. It is very crucial.
Thank you so much.
It's going to help us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Obayomi. It's a pleasure having you on this program.
Yes.
And I'm so sorry that we have to let this be at this point because my second guest will come in to handle the health aspect and mental health aspect of this same problem that is affecting us all.
It's a lot of mental problems.
Yes. It's creating a whole lot. It's been wonderful sharing the moments with him, dear viewer. I know you are glad that he has been here, and I know you will always be glad to have him around here because I remember some people would always tell me, what about Dr. Obayomi? It's because of what they have seen you do, sir. And so I'm glad about that.
Thank you.
So he'll be here again soon on this same program, Dr. Obayomi Olukayode. Of course, he has an English name. My brother's name is I guess. I've seen mentioned that one of these days.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a break right now to bring in my second guest, and then soon we'll conclude.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about
information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
To have you still there, and good to know that you're still there for us. Having my second guest immediately so that we can hear her and talk and share the moments together with her on the program. I'm talking about Pastor Tayo Lani. She is a mental health therapist. I always want to say coach because it's all part of what she does. And so, Coach Lani, it's good to have you on the program.
My pleasure, sir.
Yes, and we have a topic that is a beautiful one, a peculiar one, and that topic is the collapse of the national grid, the impact on the Ailing economy. You have seen the national grid collapse. I hope it affected the area.
Yes, it did. Blackouts everywhere.
Okay, and now you are a mental health therapist, a mental health coach. Look at it. Do you think, what impact does this make on the mental health of Nigerians? This kind of incessant collapse of the power.
It's really heartbreaking and really disheartening, because I personally, most of my things in the freezer.
Exactly, as a mother
my
too.
freezer is not new, so it can't freeze for so long anymore. So it's the consistent power supply that makes it to freeze very well. So I noticed that after the collapse, the light was off. By the time I came back yesterday evening, everything had defrosted. So that alone disheartened saddened my heart, and I was really troubled. In fact, I started thinking about all the, I buy things in bulk.
Yes, in bulk.
So when I started thinking about, I would have been patient, I would have waited, and all that. We even bought fuel to power the generator, but now the fuel you buy, how many liters can only power for like 2-3 hours,
and
that empty. Or like before, if you buy that amount, it can go for a whole day.
Yes.
So I don't even know. It's really this, and I'm feeling for those that have small scale businesses. I don't know how they're, especially those that are into cold room businesses. Yes, how are they coping with this? That means they will have to, add enough prices, increase in price for whatever they are selling. So this has a lot to get a lot of people worried and disturbed, and it has a lot of effect on their mental health.
Yes, looking at it, let's take one for an example now. Like someone like you, I know that you have things, you buy things and stock up your freezer, and that will last for a month or more, and like that. Look at someone that does not have the kind of training you have as a mental health therapist. An ordinary woman, an ordinary market woman who has all these things in her store, in stock that she wants to sell bit by bit, and it happens to her. Is it not enough to make that woman break down mentally?
Mentally, it's enough.
What do you say to such a person?
It's really enough to break, in fact, anyone mentally, because even I thought about it all through the night. I couldn't sleep. I lost sleep. Sleep disappeared from my eyes because I was just wondering, how will I do with this meat? How will I do with this fish? Do I fry all? I was just looking for how, but those that are selling, that's a loss to them. Maybe the money was even borrowed. Maybe they borrowed the money. Yes. So that's enough to even drive the person insane. That's enough to make the person sick. It's enough to even increase the blood pressure.
Yes.
So it has a lot of impact in the life of fellow Nigerians, out there, especially those that are into businesses that has to do with serious power supply. This, is enough to make anyone fall sick. So it has a lot of impact on one's mental health.
You see, that reminds me of something that happened many years ago. I guess, if I can remember, I think it happened about maybe 32 years or 30 years ago. And that was my early days in broadcasting, of course, and I was working with the Anambra Broadcasting Service there, and we were in the studio. A colleague of mine was on duty. Then it's not now that we don't really have much of talking about continuity announcers, DCAs, duty continuity announcers. This one we had in there, he was on air, and then he wanted to say the time is 5 o'clock, but he had the problem. He had the need of that time. You know, that time if you say 1,000 naira was a big money, then he had the need of 3,000 naira. So it was to announce the time. A broadcaster, a fine one for that matter, but that monetary problem was what he came to work with, and he wanted to say the time is 5 o'clock. He said the time is 3,000 naira. You know, it's funny, isn't it? But that was, he realized himself, oh, sorry, the time is 5 o'clock, and he went on talking again. This was because of the fact that he had strong need for 3,000 naira, maybe that could cause problem if it wasn't solved within that period. And so thinking about, when I remember that you'll be here, I said, good, a mental health therapist is the kind of person that can help someone who is thinking about these things to think less, you know. I don't know how you do it. How do you even do these things? How can you do these things to affect people, to help them feel better?
Okay, the only way is to tell them to have hope and to also relax their mind. It has happened, it's already happening. You know, we're already seeing what is already on ground. So the best way to do is to just give yourself that hope and don't give up, and find an alternative on how to sort out issues. There are always alternatives in sorting out issues. We tell people that worry never solve any problem or settles any problem. So the less you worry, the better. When you worry, you only damage your mental health. You only damage your health. But less of worry and finding a solution makes it better. A lot of people have had heart attack over the night. A lot of people have blood pressure because of excessive worrying. And I've never seen where worry settle issues. So we let them know that you worrying till tomorrow will never bring it down. Okay, you worried. You're already worried. You're thinking about it. And has it brought any solution? So if worry does not bring any solution, then look out for a solution. Maybe the solution could be talking to someone, and then the person could even offer you the 3,000, like you said.
Yes,
could even offer you the 3,000. Maybe you could think of something else to sell within the things you have. And there was a time we had a serious strong need in our house, and when we are those kind of people that are so disciplined, we didn't really want to ask people because of our integrity. And then we looked around within us, and then we said, what do we have here to give us this money? We were able to locate a gadget that to give us the money. We sold the gadget, and we sorted out the needs. And a point came when money came, and we replaced whatever we sold in a better way. So there's always something around you. When I talk to people that want to start businesses, they say they don't have money. There's something around you. Just like the Bible told us about what's his name? Moses, when they got to the Red Sea. You know, he was thinking maybe God was going to do something extraordinary to part the sea for them. But God said, what is in your hand? There's something in your hand that could provide solution to whatever. So if there's something in our hands that can sort out any issue that we're passing through, our own is just reflect and think about something positive and be hopeful that it will bring out results.
Thank you so much. That's a very beautiful way to start rounding up and winding up what we have had. You see, when you think of the fact that there is a problem, look around you and see there could be something around you that will help solve the problem. You may not, that's number one. The other one is that you need to share. So a problem shared is half solved. That's it. That's what you're really, because I've also seen some of the things you have posted on the Facebook and other public systems that we've been seeing, media that we've been seeing, where you have advised people on how to handle matters. Now, finally, please advise mothers and even fathers, because this thing has a strong impact in the home at a time like this. A woman is thinking, how do I get what I used to feed my family? The man is thinking as he has gone to work, how do I even get money to be able to help give to my wife so that something can happen for the children today?
Okay, I tell people that now is smart work that work. Smart work. You have to be smart in everything that you do. It's no more those days that we say brain work. I use my, I use my effort or whatever. But now you have to be smart in doing whatever you want to do to be able to make it in life. And right now, one stream of income will not solve your family matters. You have to look for multiple streams of income to be able to sort out issues. For you to be mentally stable, then you have to think of a plan B. A plan B is very important, because as you receive from plan A, plan B too should also be flowing as a source of income to the family. So, and you have to find a business, a side business that you need to do, in case if maybe you are a government worker, or maybe you are somebody that does business. You need to add more things that will also bring in resources for you to be balanced in this kind of economy. Another thing you need is also we need God to be able to survive, because when we speak to God, God will also give you an idea that will change things. Like I remember a lady who came to meet me and said she needed money to start business, and guess what? The lady was using an iPhone. An iPhone, if you sell an iPhone, is when she asked me, I told her what you need is in your hand. So what is it? That iPhone in your hand. That iPhone, there are many men using iPhone, many women, mothers, we use iPhone, and you are hungry, you don't have food to eat. There are things in your hand that you can use to generate the income that you need to start up something extra. So my advice for everyone is think outside the box. Be smart in everything that you do, and then think of something extra so that you can have a stable mental health. And then also remember that thinking will never solve anything. It only aggravates problems. So the best thing to do is to calm down and think of what can I add to make things work in my family. Dialogue would go a long way.
Yes, dialogue. A dialogue between a man and his wife. So that they understand, not that the man doesn't want to bring it, but this is what has happened.
And again, coming down.
Dialogue
coming down from your high horse.
Yes, coming down from your high horse. Yes.
Maybe at this time that I eat 3 times a day, 4 times and everything. But this time that I love excessive.
Snacks in between snacks.
Yes, in between snacks. And do excessive. Then now you'll be able to, work according to your level.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's been wonderful sharing this part of the story with you, Pastor Tayo Lani. It's a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you, sir.
And it's so good to have you. Of course, mostly Pastor Tayo Lani reminds you of Reverend Lawrence Lani. That's from the same family. And we pray that the best will happen even as we share good tidings of people to bless lives and hearts together.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you.
Dear viewer, this is where we'll be rounding up our stay with you today on the program. We will still want to continue to do others as the days go by. Do join us again to find out what next we'll bring across to you. Special thanks to the 2 guests that I've had today, and above all, special thanks to you for being there, because if you weren't there, we would not have been talking to. That's the thing. So thanks, it's good to have you. And let me also thank Blissful Capacity for helping put things in order here. Not forgetting to mention Solomon. Thank you so much for being there, giving ideas that have worked out today. And thanks to Victor Chize, as well as Divine Okechukwu, the great Divine. It's been wonderful sharing the moments with you. Victor Adeyeye is also part of it. We thank you. Thank you, everybody. May the best be what will come to us all as we live together. Because Onubogu here saying, God bless us together.